If you've ever sat down at your craft table and thought, now what? This is exactly where I'm going to start today. We're going to start by making one very easy card, and then we're going to build it up from there, adding layers and other stamps and other things, so that when we're finished, we have 3 different cards at 3 different levels of stamping. There's sure to be one here for you. I'm Barb Brimhall, and this is Step It Up Stamping. Today, we are going to be using the Flowering Meadow Bundle. This is from the May through August quarterly catalog. And one of the reasons I love this bundle is the stamp set is a 2-step stamping set, which means that you can do your flowers in one color and your leaves and stems in another color, and it becomes very fast and easy to make your card. So let's start out with what I like to call the Busy Bee card. This is for those of us that are always in a hurry or are beginner card makers. This is the perfect card for a beginner card maker. And we're starting with Hydrangea Hue cardstock. It's a new in color. I love this color. It's kind of a bluish purple. And I'm pairing it with Night of Navy ink and Berry Burst ribbon. So, and also Garden Green ink. Can't forget that green, right? So very, very simple. What we do is we're going to stamp our flowers first in Night of Navy. And what I did is I inked that up, tapped it off once on my ink pad, and then I added the center of the flower, which you can see is the true Night of Navy. So this becomes a little bit lighter once you step it off. And then we have the garden green stems, and we just kind of stamp it in a circle, and you don't have to worry about everything overlapping in the middle because we're going to cover that with the sentiment. And the sentiment is stamped in Night of Navy. And then I just took a little bit of ribbon, folded it in half, put it behind the sentiment, and we're done. So very simple card. 2 inks in this case, Night of Navy, Garden Green, and then we're adding in Hydrangea Hue as an offset color, and then that beautiful Berry Burst. Okay, so that is our Busy Bee card. Now we're going to bring in our Worker Bee card for when you want to do a little bit more work, and we're introducing 2 other colors. We are introducing Gray Granite, which I love with these other colors. I think the Gray Granite is just so pretty. And then we're also using Berry Burst, same color as the ribbon, but now we're adding in those little, I don't know what to call them. I'm calling them berry flowers. So what we're doing is we're stamping the flowers the same on white cardstock, stamping off once for the flower, then stamping the inner flower. Let me just show you that, by the way, so you can see where that is. Can you see next to those double flowers in the top left corner of the stamp set, those 2 little teeny ones to the right of that? That is what you're seeing right here in the center of this flower. Now, in this case, I cut them out with scissors, but if you have the dies, you can make quick work of this because the dies will also quickly cut out those flowers. But I just wanted to show people that didn't have a die cutting machine that you could also just fussy cut out those flowers and it would go fairly quickly. We're still stamping everything in Garden Green, including the stem of the flower, but this time we're adding in Berry Burst for that little, I don't know what that's called, coneflower. I don't know, but it's pretty and I love it in the Berry Burst color. And then this time I just cut longer ribbon and I zigzagged it kind of like a Z. So it would go this way, but I turned it so that it's portrait instead of landscape. And this time the sentiment is stamped on Gray Granite instead of on Hydrangea Hue. So we've got a larger color palette going on here. And you'll notice that I did stamp this on a quarter sheet of the Hydrangea Hue and then just glued that down on the Hydrangea Hue. That just gives a little bit more depth to your card. Okay, you ready for the Queen Bee card? This is the card that you'll want to make when you want to do some extra work, kind of take it over the top. A lot of my Queen Bee cards have a different card fold or some special thing to it. This doesn't, because I didn't feel like I needed to. Let me give you a close-up of all of these die cuts. And this looks hard, but it's actually super easy because of those die cuts. And you can really see the difference in color by stamping it on white and cutting it out. See the difference? And again, the fact that this is a two-step stamp set makes this so easy. So you're going to stamp your stem in garden green, die cut that out, then cut out the berry flower in berry burst and cut that out. So it makes it very, very simple. And then I also added in, which I think really adds interest to this. I want to bring this up. Can you see that gorgeous die cut of the leaf stem? And I just did that in garden green, so kept the same color palette going here. And then I die cut, I think it was 5 or 6 of these little white flowers. And they just add so much interest. Now, I want to point out the sentiment, because here I just did it on a rectangle, but I brought in another set of dies. These are the nested essential dies. And I just, once again, stamped the sentiment in Night of Navy. And it makes that elongated diamond look, which I think is so perfect on this card. And I think it just really elevates it up from using the rectangle. But if you don't have a die cutting machine, then you would just go with this one. And it looks great. It doesn't look bad at all. It still looks really great. This one is just faster. And then I added 3 of the new dewdrops embellishments, which I think added a lot with this elongated die cut. It just lent itself to having some embellishments there. Isn't that pretty? I love the colors on this card. Give you a good look at that right now so you can see. And when I glued these down on the card, some are glued down with just regular adhesive. You could see like the leaves and the little white flowers. And then others, I just randomly added some of the others, like this one right here. I added with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'll try to turn this on the side so you can see it. Not really. But that just allows a variety of depth on your card. And that really adds a lot of interest to your card. So there you have it, my friends. So let me bring these all back in. We've got our Busy Bee card, super simple card that anybody could do, fast and easy. Then we've got our Worker Bee card, and actually, this card probably took me longer than the Queen Bee card because I had to fussy cut out the flowers, but they were very simple. It just took time, right? Easy to cut out, but took a little bit more time. Introduced gray granite, which I think really grounds this card. I think if you look at the Busy Bee card and the Worker Bee card, the addition of the gray granite kind of grounds all those colors together. And then we added on our Queen Bee card a lot more die cuts. I love the garden green leaf die cut on here. I think it really elevates it. And then, of course, the nested essentials die for the sentiment just takes it up another notch. So there you go, my friends. I hope you enjoyed today's Step It Up stamping with the Flowering Meadows bundle. Love it. And I will see you next week for another Step It Up stamping. Bye.